Okie dokie. So I've been sitting on my butt so far all morning watching videos online and checking my bank account, which on a Sunday holiday is so important. It's Labor Day weekend 2016, and I'm just farting the weekend away. Just incredibly stupid of me. This is my last Sunday before Bugsy, Kitty, and I set out for Virginia, and instead of getting up early, showering, and getting to work, I'm acting like it's any other day. And it's kind of dumb because I really should take advantage of this time to finish up the portraits I've been doing, which are almost there, and so I can start off in Virginia fresh. I'm really looking forward to the move because then I'll be able to produce 1 to 2 videos a day. I'll be able to post more on Pinterest and Facebook and Instagram and Flickr and all the sites that I'm on. I cannot wait. I'm going to hit the ground running when I get to Virginia. But I'm telling you, it's been years. It's taken me years to get to this point where I go, okay, I know what I got to do, and I know what paintings I'm going to do next. I've already got everything lined up, all the planning. And it's taken a long time for me to get there. I used to be really willy-nilly and kind of be, oh, this is inspiring to me, this image that I now hold in my hand and must get perfectly right. And now I know that was foolishness. All I had to do was let go. Let go of safety, let go of comfort zone, let go of everything I knew, and let go of what everyone else was telling me I had to paint to get in galleries on Cape Cod. Just throw it away. On Cape Cod, where I lived most of my life, my colors weren't right. The images weren't quite what other galleries were looking for. There were a litany of excuses why people weren't taking me. But now I know, several years later, it had nothing to do with me really and my images and my colors. Okay, ready for this? I feel I'm several, probably decades ahead of what the market wants to see right now. How egotistical is that? Thank you. Right now, the market is looking at selling the same images over and over again. Let's paint Marilyn Monroe. Look at how awesome my painting of Marilyn Monroe is. There's 50,000 images of Marilyn Monroe out there, and everybody's trying to sell them. Just like out in Cape Cod, everyone's selling the pictures of the same lighthouses over and over and over again. Who has the best images of that lighthouse? Who has the best images of that particular cliff? Every gallery has the same shit over and over and over again. And I'm not blaming Cape Cod. It's just the general art market and the inability for gallerists to take a chance and see a little bit further. I'm lucky. I have people on my side now. I have a few guys who are like, you the shit. You know, people who are behind me, they understand my artwork, they understand how to sell it. Now I'm bringing this up because I hear from artists every day, artists and students and teachers and people all over the world who write to me because they see my silly little videos that started out of absolute desperation to get my work out there. I started doing these because I needed to get it promoted. I needed to get my work promoted. So I went online and I started making videos, and some of them are sad and some of them are really joyful and some of them are like this where I'm just talking. Sometimes making sense, not always. But there we go. They're still touching people, buyers, sellers, producers of work. And so that's what I'm kind of addressing a lot of that. And especially artists who are trying to get into the market or just starting out. Several times a week I talk with different teachers because I'm mentoring a lot of people online. But my latest mentoring thing are something, oh God, this should be fed intravenously, coffee, really should, along with B12 for people like me so we can just function every day. The latest person I'm having a lot of interaction with is Dr. Parker in Tennessee. Yes, in Tennessee. She and I have been talking about painting and producing work and about her students. Now, they're a long way from having to deal with galleries and gallerists who tell you, no, our market doesn't want that. We want one lighthouse painted over and over again. They're a long way from there. So I'm kind of addressing them and everybody in between who are trying to do something new. Everyone who's watched my videos knows I paint in the weirdest way possible. The most confusing and frustrating way possible. I start off with my canvases like this, where it's just black and white. Then I put in aerosol shapes, aerosol colors, aerosol shapes, aerosol designs in an abstract way. I find a way to not project, but to pull my reference material, the image I'm using in my reference material out, and then I deconstruct the image and construct the image all at the same time. It is one big, long friggin' puzzle that leaves me confused and makes painting an adventure. Now, Dr. Parker, like a lot of other people, Dr. Parker's students are trying to figure out how to do this because it's really, really fun. It's also extremely frustrating. Dear Dr. Parker's students and everyone else that is trying to figure out how to paint the way I do, and there are a lot of you, it is extremely frustrating. And it's taken me just a few years to figure out what I wanted to say, what I wanted to do, and how to go about it. But it's still taken me a few years. And on top of those few years of going from straightforward painting to this really messed up, weird, psychedelic, Willy Wonka down the tunnel way of painting, it's taken me years to get from straightforward to that. But before even the straightforward stuff, it was years of painting, not painting, pretending I was an artist. I am an artist, and not producing any work. Not really understanding the materials. Not just acrylic paint, but what you add to acrylic paint to make it magical, make it work best. Saying, oh yes, I work with oils, but having very little understanding of the materials that would be needed to bring the best out of the oils. It's been years and years and years. I'm 53 now. I just figured this out maybe 5 years ago. So if that gives you any inkling of why you're frustrated, I want to relieve any anxiety or frustration that, oh my God, this isn't working out. Now, no, Dr. Parker and I, she told me the other day that several students are finding this frustrating. I find it frustrating every day. People who write me who are trying to figure out what I do and how they can do it find it frustrating every day. There are grown-ups trying to figure this out. There are kids trying to figure this out. There's young adults trying to figure this out. There's people in Australia trying to figure this out. Australia, New Zealand, Korea, South America, all over South America, all across the United States, up into Canada, Quebec. I hear from people all over the world. Germany, France. There are all kinds of people who are just learning to paint who are trying to figure this out. I'm not saying give up. I'm saying my head is a chaotic mess when it comes to painting. And I love the adventure. I love the frustration. I love working my way out of the puzzle. What I'm saying to you is, do not be hard on yourself. If you're not getting it the first time out of the gate, or the second time out of the gate, or the third, or the fourth, or the 50th time trying, do not be hard on yourself. There's a lot of material that goes into this. There's a lot of pre-painting in my head, because I will paint for hours in my head while I'm doing other things. Even while I'm sleeping, I'm pre-painting a painting. I've already got 20 paintings going in my head. When I get to Virginia, I'm hopefully going to physically create. But even though I've pre-painted it, there's going to be frustration. So what I'm saying is it's okay. And what I do, because my head is a chaotic mess of, 20, 30 paintings ready to go. What do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I have 8 paintings going right now. It's a chaotic mess. And I get myself really frustrated with the confusion that I burden myself with. But one way I alleviate the frustration is by having 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 paintings going at once. That helps me. I'm completely distracted by this. But I'm working on this, but I'm distracted by all the paintings in the other room that you don't see. The 2 that are over here that you can't see. The one that's sitting next to me that I've been working on for 2 months when I have time. Do not be hard on yourself. I have found tricks to keep myself preoccupied so I am not looking at one painting for days and days and days and days on end and getting frustrated. I have to have other projects going so I can clear my head. This isn't working out, I'll move to that one. This isn't working out, I'll move to that one. And I was telling Dr. Parker, what I do is, you have to excuse me, I haven't showered yet. I just wanted to make this video while it was somewhat fresh in my head. So I have this going on, this Laurie Anderson, 1990s New York haircut going on. It's a little wacky, 1980s. Anyway, I was telling Dr. Parker, one thing I do is I put on audiobooks while I've got all these paintings going on, while I might be cleaning while I'm painting. I have an Audible book going. I pick one Audible book, usually, a fresh Audible book, for my weekend. And I start it when I'm ready to paint, and that helps to lock me in. That's my cue, it's time to work. And I'm able to lock into the tone of voice and the rhythm and listen. And that voice helps to walk